Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean.
Yeah, Lotus told me about him. Sheldrake. Oh, I actually forgot about this.
It's when we found the dog.
The Funyarimpa.
Really? From notice, huh?
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
She did.
Yeah, what was it? Epiphany in danger.
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
You did? Why?
Well,
Look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
tell you what.
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Very well, I'll tell you everything. It's not here. Let's move to the top floor.
You're ready to read a lot, Rhino. It's Snake's story time.
Yep. I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well.
So no getting distracted.
To be honest, the explanation is quite simple. Zero told me not to. I had little choice. He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card.
That's a Braille card. Looks like the one you showed us earlier. So you had two cards.
No, only one.
Huh? What do you mean? I thought that card just had some rules for the nonary game on it.
Yes, it did. And those were the rules I read to you. However, they were not the only thing on the card. There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say there was something I couldn't read.
And that was?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator. It's a threat to our it's a threat on our lives.
Oh. Well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. Doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth but not hers?
Yeah.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone. Still, apparently she told you. That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me. I mean, it looks like the whole activator-detonator thing was just a bluff. She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
That's very true. I've decided I can trust you. I've decided to tell you the truth. The chance that Santa is zero is very high. I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment. And at any rate, even if he were, I doubt very much he would kill us.
Why?
Clover told me about the four-leaf clover, about the words. If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it. He wouldn't kill us, no matter what the situation was.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Clover told me about...
I see. Morphogenetic field in the experiment 9 years ago. How the experiment is taking place simultaneously at two locations, one being the ship and the other being at a building in Nevada. And the girl that died during that experiment. She told you about all that, did she? At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains is for us to determine.
Is who did this and why, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals. There were 4 of them running the show. Gentaro Hongu, Nagisa Nijisaki, Taraki Kabuta, Katsushika Musashido, Hongu was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share of planning. Kubota led the company's research and development division. Musashido was the majority stockholder. It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment. Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota delivered the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
So it's Hongu, Nijisaki, Kubota, and Musashido.
Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale. To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonary Project. The purpose of the experiment was to research the project of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenic field. Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of the EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation? Experiments with humans produced the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen? The answer is that the shape of the answer had been stored in an invisible field to the naked eye. And through that field, the resonance event transmits information related to that answer. That's essentially the idea behind morphogenic fields. That's just a theory. I can't bring yourself to believe it.
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it. Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murderer. They believe the devil exists, whether or not he does is immaterial. So what
matters here is that Hongu believed in the morphogenetic field.
That's right.
But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The chances of you knowing that answer, even if no one else has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstanding. Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event. All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
Yeah.
Now, if there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen? If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well. Could you imagine what kind of person with powers like that would be able to do?
Everyone will do handstands! Come on, there's no way.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then? The person who has the power to write to the field is someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as a writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
So the transmitter's resident event could be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, close enough at least.
Come on, it's just crazy.
But if you want to prove that, then you had to test it first. At least that was how they thought. That was why they decided to do the experiment. That was how the Nonary project began. By the way, Junpei, have you ever heard of the Gansfield experiment?
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? Place a pair of subjects in separate rooms, and you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
So why'd you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise, children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered. They were kidnapped. There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children in total. For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had 1 transmitter and 1 receiver. They were split perfectly.
My finger rested on the button too much.
As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put in Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert. The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship in the Gigantic. From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are 2 things that increase one's resonance with the fields. First is epiphany, the other is danger. Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard, and an answer suddenly appeared in your mind? It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. Participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger. He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the Nonary game as the ship sunk. By forcing the children into a life-or-death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic. Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink and your brothers and sisters will drown. Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely? It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All the equipment, the instructions, everything, all of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in. By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the gigantic and building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of Epiphany to solve the puzzles they found. And transmit what they learned through the fields. Children in Group A, however, they had access to the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is the simplest explanation I can manage. Hey, Junpei, Snake, how much longer are you two going to sit around on those bony asses? Get down here already. He's right.
My ass is bony.
Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here and soon.
Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you. Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Oh yes, that's what they sell in the news, wasn't it? Yes, I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiments. After all, you couldn't exactly play a nonary game with any less, could you?
Yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing. They were brother and sister like Clover and I. Brother's name was A.
Or Owie or something.
Sister's name was... Her name was Akane. That was the girl who died.
Akane Kurashiki died? 9 years ago?
Wait a minute.
Then, who is June? No, that's impossible. It can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name. If Snake had known her last name, well, that's a different matter entirely. So they share a name. A lot of other people do too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else. Of course it was. It has to be. Heh.
Something wrong, Junpei. Your breathing sounds strange.
No, it's nothing. I'm fine.
Despite how much you keep trying to cut me off.
Let's get back down there, alright? Maybe I'll stop accidentally pressing left mouse button. I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out. Alright, so anyway. Sheldrake. This is it. This is what the shadow picture was pointing to.
But didn't it say 5 at the end of the shadow picture? Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume.
Done. Well, would you look at that? There's a big red button behind this book. Guess we should press this button. And all the books fell out!
What was that sound? Sounded like something really big was moving. It came from the top floor.
Alright, let's go check it out. Yes, let's get out of here, please, finally. Oh boy, okay. 13, 14, 10, 13. Rhino.
Oh, is that time already? I thought I had a moment. After story time. Well, I bet you're gonna type something on that keyboard.
Yeah, but you can only enter letters.
And it looks like you only enter 4 letters.
Let's see how it works. So you need to hit enter once you type in the letters. You can erase when you type with clear. Okay, get the basic operations. Let's give it a shot. So, M, N, J, M. Not that easy. Let's see. Well, the 13th letter is, so I guess it doesn't work quite that way. Let's see. I did it right? X is 10 in Roman numerals, correct?
Yeah.
This would be... It would be 13, 14, 10, 13.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. And so it should be M, N, J, M. Did I screw it up?
What if it's in hex?
Oh boy. No, you can only do letters, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can't be in hex because that would translate it into numbers.
No, but I mean, like, these numbers translate into hex. So, if in hex, 15 is F. So that would make this...
Oh!
That would make this
F.
dead. Bingo!
Good notice. I didn't even remember hex.
Yay, you did it, Junpei. It's unlocked now. Good job, Junpei.
Yep, it was all me!
Oh, there, don't get too excited. Somehow I feel like we 3 figured it out. Password was dead, remember? This makes me think whatever's waiting for us isn't good. So what? Jeez, you're such an old lady. Can't be worrying about stuff like that. I mean, come on, we got it to unlock, didn't we? Let's go, hurry up.
I choose this door! Thick metal door. Handle in the middle of it, though. Oh, no, I'm trying to go back, damn it. So, is it this one, then? Alright, let's get this thing open. Alright, so I guess we needed to take the one on the right. We specifically couldn't take the one on the left.
Okay.
You found it!
After story time.
You found story time! Cutscene.
Alright. Alright, this is the next.
The door.
Did that just close on its own? Don't tell me we can't go back.
I don't know, let's see. I shit myself. Looks like it locks automatically.
Is there any other way out?
Well, there's another door over on the right. There's a card reader next to it. It's got a red light on it, though, so I'm pretty sure it's locked, too.
But there is a card reader, right?
Yeah?
Then perhaps if we find a card, we could open the door and leave.
Well, yeah, that might work, but...
Hey, wait a minute. Are you saying we're going to have to search through this room for one little card? Oh, man.
This is a big room. Looks that way.
No way. For real? Well, we can sit down and wait to die if that's what you prefer. I'd rather doubt that, however, so it'd be wise to start looking. We haven't much time. Let's find that keycard. Oh, and the Neptune key as well. We won't be able to get through the hallway without it. Alright then, let's begin.
Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Seek a fucking key card.
A fucking yeah.
Study! Oh my god, I don't know what to start with. What's this? This looks like a map.
Hey Junpei, isn't this a nautical table?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this before. Alright, we got that.
Yay.
Piles of crap everywhere. Man, this place is a mess.
It's so messy. I don't know where to start. Some of this crap looks familiar. I think a lot of these are parts of the puzzles we solved in other rooms. If that's true, then this room could be Zero's laboratory.
This is where he developed his machines. That's what the text said. But I kept skipping it accidentally. This pile of junk is nothing. Oh, I thought it would let me click on things. Rhino.
Gosh, this desk is really big and feels really sturdy.
Please stop getting distracted. It does seem pretty heavy duty.
Suppose it belongs to whoever uses this room, wouldn't you say?
Terminal. Okay, there's a control panel in front of the big screen here. I wonder if any of these buttons do anything. There's something on the screen now. What's this? There are 15 cells here with letters and numbers in them.
Let me see that. I see. So whenever you touch a cell, the ones next to it turn on or off. You just gotta use that to make the all cells on the right and bottom green. Hey Junpei, I found this piece of paper under that thing. You want to take a look at it? Do you think this might have something to do with the puzzle?
Piece of paper Clover gave me. There are a bunch of numbers and letters connected by equal signs on it. Looks like she said this is probably related to the puzzle on the screen somehow. Thanks, Clover. This really helps.
Hee.
Alright, let's go back and try again. Only it looks like I just need to make all the cells all green. Oh my god, you know what? I'm just gonna...
Time for random clicking.
I'm just gonna... Okay, anyway. Let's see. Okay, so it's as simple as we need to get every single square lit up.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Okay. You and your lying to me.
D is 13. 13 plus 1 plus 9, so 13 plus 10, so 23.
It's hex.
Equals A. So okay, so basically it needs to be...
Correct.
10. So basically the D needs to go away. We don't want the D. We don't want the D.
Correct.
Okay.
No one wants the D.
We need to light up these, or this one, rather, I think. And that'll solve it. So... I relatively know what I'm doing. It's just I'm trying to get particular setups here. Alright, we need to get... let's see, L21. Alright, we need to get rid of this B. Oh, I thought I had it. No, damn, the B's back. Okay. Let's reset and try again. I was getting myself confused. Okay. Let's see. There we go.
Yeah.
Once I actually reset, I can solve this sort of thing really easily. But I need to, like, press everything and then reset.
Gotta fuck around first, then you can do it.
Yep.
You did it, Junpei. You found it. No, we're not at that point yet. You're so smart. You seem to have done an excellent job and solved the puzzle according to the exclamations I hear. Just what I would expect. What I would have expected of you, Junpei.
Come on, you're embarrassing me. Also, I can't help but feel your beat. God damn it.
Whoa, whoa, don't get cocky, kid. We don't have time for that.
I was gonna say, they sound like they're being pretty, what's the term? I don't even know the term I'm thinking of.
Insincere?
No, the... patronizing.
Ah. I can see why you might think that. Look at this.
Because literally anytime I do everything, it's, Junpei, you're so smart!
Well, they don't want you to get discouraged if you're the one solving the puzzles. Check out the right edge of the control panel. The lid is open, and something came out.
Cross emblem. Whoosh! Boom, boom,